The shooting happened at 988 Apgar Street in Oakland near the Emerville border. The two homicide victims were students at Berkeley High School. KPIX5's Dahlen talked both to people who saw the shooting and to one of the victims' teachers.
The teenagers killed were brothers from Berkeley. The two surviving victims are also students at Berkeley High. The shooting happened on the second floor of this blue house. Neighbors say it's an Airbnb rental. Family and friends identify the two brothers as Jay-Z and Angel Sotelo Garcia. The taller one on the left was the older brother, 17-year-old Jay-Z, a junior at Berkeley High. The one on the right, 15-year-old Angel, a sophomore at Berkeley High. Neighbors say about 30 to 40 teens attended what was believed to be a birthday party that started around 8 o'clock Saturday night. 2 hours later, just before 10 p.m., a shooting broke out.
Just started as a commotion where, young people drinking and kind of gathering, and started breaking out into bickering and hostility. And before you know it, two guys just walk upstairs and start shooting at each other.
Neighbor Martin Opsaw lives across the street. He was smoking in front of his house and saw the argument, and shortly after, the shooting.
It sounded like two people were exchanging gunfire. It sounded like there was at least two firearms. There was two distinct gunshot sounds, so I don't think they were from the same gun. And they were shooting simultaneously, so there's no way that it could have came from the same firearm.
Witnesses saw high school-aged boys and girls screaming and running away. We now know many of the teens were students from Berkeley High.
I started screaming out to the kids, asking if everything was okay, and there was one girl who was shaking her head no and just running really fast. Another young girl came out of the house and she was just screaming at the top of her lungs, and there was a kid that was laying on the sidewalk that you could tell was shot.
A crime scene cleanup worker says there's still a lot of party decorations inside the two-bedroom apartment. He believes the shooting happened in the kitchen area.
It was mostly just around the kitchen area is where we ended up seeing the majority of what was in there.
Oakland police are investigating what caused the argument and motivated the shooting. Neighbors and a house cleaner say it's a vacation rental.
A bunch of beer cases sprawled out in front, and I was like, here we go. You just never think it'll devolve into something like this.
As for the two injured Berkeley High students, we don't know how they're doing at this time. The family says Angel and Jay-Z are survived by their single mother and 4 siblings. No one has been arrested in the shooting. In Oakland, I'm Dahlen, KPIX5.
A GoFundMe page has been set up for the brothers' funeral expenses and to help the rest of the family. And that GoFundMe page has raised about $27,000 so far. The school superintendent released a statement that said, in part, our hearts go out to the family and everyone impacted by this tragedy. Because these were two of our own, we are all feeling the pain collectively and must hold each other especially close and care for one another. Berkeley High will have extra counseling services tomorrow for students. As Dahlen pointed out, by the way, neighbors tell us the house was an Airbnb rental, but the company has not confirmed that.